Some of my bro on the beat. Right. Yeah. Dr. Umar.
Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I just keep on just buying shit. I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money. I just go through all
Dr.
my money.
Umar.
Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I just keep on just buying shit, yeah. I'm in a crew with some stunners. You in a crew with some suckers. I took the two right up under. It will turn you into mustard. Nigga, I move like a hustler. And I came through in a Hummer. All on flight, boss with them guys. Tell me now who is above us. And bitch, I'm so cool, I need covers. Your bitch said I'm smooth like some butter. Couple season doing winter time. That bitch get removed by the summer. This that Uriel, you motherfuckers. So motherfuck you motherfuckers. I'm coming like these motherfuckers. Don't make me hit you with that thunder. It was just me and me. And it was just you and another. Well, I would hurt you and the other. As soon as I pull out that Uzi, I fuck up some shit. Bitch, your boy sicker than a lot of bumps on the dick. Bitch, trigger on the dick. Bitch, I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money.
Umar.
Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I just keep on just buying shit. I just go through all my money. 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 Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I just keep on just buying shit, yeah. Maybe I'll listen in time, cause I ain't get tips from the wise. I don't pay my bills cause there's so much other shit that a nigga can buy. America think I'm in debt. These hoes be chasing a check. Just because I be making you wet, that don't mean you can stay on my jet. Baby, it's DoelowDaPilotman. You know I came for respect. Little bitch, I don't take disrespect. Hit you where you talking straight out the neck, I'm not impressed. They hate on me cause they got the press. Treat you like some clothes I got impressed. Red I don't know what I ain't got impressed. Make you exercise when that weapon fly. You on a bit but not depressed. The turkey girl run a train on a lot of mics in her face like she got impressed. I'm in the hall like a conference. I run the game, I ain't jogging yet. Got way too many new flows. You gotta see if the water fresh. Just check it out, bet you got impressed. It keep your head bobbing, yes. If I ain't got it like yeah, I got a tech. Don't make me create the hottest mess. You niggas then copy the rest. So never take shots at the best. Promoters treat me like I'm young thug. I got a check. I just go through all my money. 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 Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I just keep on just buying shit. I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money. I just go through all my money.
Umar.
Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I don't know what to do with it. Man, I just keep on just buying shit, yeah.
And maybe you can learn a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can learn a lesson. Maybe we can learn a lesson from that. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't going towards the school. Dr. Ooh. Other than that, shout him out and stuff like that. Just put this video live stream about him or whatever the case may be. But we is gonna get some esoteric psychology going on, and we is gonna understand how to build a culture all together. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, people want to play ego. People want to be in their own position. People don't want to think about the greater purpose and think about us all the way down to the European also. Think about us all. So even when we want to cry and bitch, yeah, we can do that all day, but don't forget, people had to have something with someone else. It takes two to tango. So even if you on both on the negative side or on the positive side, understand that. So you freedmans ain't have no goddamn ethnogenesis alone. You see what I'm saying? You Tainos ain't have no goddamn ethnogenesis alone. Who did you have one with? I guess the first, okay? So you understand what's going on. So what we gonna do about it? I said, what we gonna do about it? This ain't no time for Nation of Islam thinking. We ain't trying to use no boats. We ain't colonists. We ain't trying to use no weapons. We not committing crimes. What we gonna do about it? Is we gonna use our mind? In time. Open up your motherfucking mouth and it all fall in place. But this, we're going to build the mind structure of how this actually take course that we could even start. And if you're a weakling, you know what it looks like to be strong and to not be weak no more. And you can still do what you do because we need all things: business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. Yeah, we need news reporters. Yeah, we need goddamn creative people. Yeah, we need talented. Yeah, we need philosophers and psychologists. Yeah, we need businessmen. Yeah, we need construction workers. Yeah, we need women who know how to put things together and conduct it right. But if we ain't all got no motherfucking direction, guess what? We all in the mind flunked out, and we ain't doing shit about what we complaining about, and we ain't coming together, and we still talking about we need to come together. That don't make sense. You can't preach. That's serving two masters. Hey, we got to come together. Hey, we not. But it takes the testing of the mind. We punching each other in the nuts. So the survival wins, and the strongest going to be at the end, and the weakest link going to have to build up based upon whoever the strongest mind is, because they actions is already doing it anyway. So don't put too much pressure on yourselves. Everything, you're not in a Jew position. So everything not funded. Start where you at and stuff. I know things look grandiose and stuff when we look at Walt Disney, and every so often someone that look like us that's in sports or whatever the case may be, whether we get mascots put on around us or not, this be our level of inspiration. But it also allow us to put too much pressure on ourselves. All the way, shout out to Dr. Umar, all the way to him and things of that nature, where all that pressure is what a lot of other individuals didn't even have to experience and things of that nature, as far as, funding systems and stuff. So it's not about crying and bitching anymore. It's about what we gonna do about it. You know what I'm saying? What the hell we gonna do about it in this motherfucker shit? And that's the right time to use the term us and we. Not just when we all over the place and we ain't got no constructed foundation. Strong minds who got a group or can gravitate or manifest or attract one, which is right now we got online and even audiences beyond our personal life that we already conduct these things, for us to even have that type of courage to sit up here like what we doing is nothing. You have to already be practicing this in your life like it wasn't what you was trying to practice. It's who you are type energy. And that's with the time we in and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to just building new formations and constructions, what we're going to do about it, because everybody went through an ethnogenesis. So you have to counterpartmentalize it, because you ain't nothing else. I'm going to tell you that right now. So we have to understand percentage scale. We can't be lost in these generalized terms also. But this is the only way we got filter out the strong minds and filter out who's weak, even if they're in a Walt Disney version of seeming like it's a better position than someone else. We know it don't lead to them uplifting their culture, and if they're part of your culture, this why you ain't nothing else. When I break this down, us Native Americans, freedmans, and goddamn Taino, you could make up something in your mind, but you ain't nothing else. Now you have to understand percentage scale, right? And ethnogenesis. So you're more of the percentage scale of something than the other thing, but based upon you being in that situation in the first place, you got mixtures of everything. This what it means. Ethnogenesis. You don't have your language, your culture no more, or if you still got it, like a lot of us Native Americans, you still mix with other tribes. You don't have your culture anymore, except a powwow or something like that. The original tribe before it was mixed and stuff was an ethnogenesis. Bringing other people over here was an ethnogenesis, and the only people was over here was from the Caribbeans, the Tainos, the African, and then the African Americans that they was bringing. There's small pockets of Asian, and then a lot of European and stuff like that. So we all a melting pot, so it have to look at it like a mind state right now. So, but when it comes into who actually have the ethnogenesis, there is no other example but Native Americans having it the most extreme, then the freedman, African, and then Tainos and stuff. So if you over here and you're not like the generation that's coming now that still can travel across the country, got family, it's like they're automatically all in on a lot of societal things that don't got nothing to do with your in-house conversations with your relatives and stuff like that, right? Then this separates things where you can even see the person who's more on the percentage scale of the African, right? So that's a blending of the African tribes and Arab and Somalian and Berber and all this other things of that nature. So it's easy to blend y'all in based upon phenotype, based upon percentage scale, a lot faster to somebody like Akon or Shaq. But y'all know, y'all don't, Shaq could be born before you and family here before you, but you might be younger, but your family been here longer and you have different in-house conversations than Shaq. And I guarantee your phenotype look a little different, but since you're more percentage scale of the freed man, freed woman, this is how they can slide you in that box and then throw people up here where they know that the social security card go to quicker foreigner qualities than yours being vague because you're in a position of ethnogenesis in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So they can slide you into these Akons, Rick Rosses every now and then, knowing that these people was in the military, or nothing wrong with that. COs, nothing wrong with that. Police force, nothing wrong with that. Military brats, nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But this is the little battle that y'all freedmans may be going through right now, where you know a difference based upon how you're growing up and what you personally see and interacting with others, even living next door to a Haitian, a Native American, East Asian, Indian, Arab mix, or whatever the case may be. You know you know how to separate online and when you in your real life, like, because real life is first, and you know the difference in some way, shape, or form. And that's where a lot of these arguments is coming from, even from powerful content creators and stuff like that, where in the world, or at least online, is saying one thing, but we all know what we experience amongst each other in real life. You see what I'm saying? So we're all trying to get to this grounding with each other and then develop that culture, but it takes some straightening. It takes some understanding. So when we think about ethnogenesis, a group of people can't have an ethnogenesis with themselves. That don't make no sense. You're still the same people, so that wouldn't make no sense. You had ethnogenesis with others. But I think I just got to remind freedmans that sometimes, like African Americans, sometimes y'all getting y'all ego that sometimes look too much like the Pilgrim man, and then y'all start being everything without knowing you had to be with others and stuff like that for that to mean something, for that ethnos thing to mean something. You went through an ethnogenesis with a other race. That's what it means. Now, the percentage scales was confusing people, and that's why I just broke down what y'all freedmans is going through. Because, I mean, you can't put me next to ASAP Rocky or anybody, Eddie Murphy or whatever. We both Aries, golden children. But our phenotypes clearly know you. Eddie Murphy older than me, but we could clearly tell, you know, Eddie Murphy probably from the back blocks of the Caribbean, no matter if his family was here for like 10 boats. My family was here, never came from nowhere. Well, maybe my father, but everything else, and even a piece of his, but mainly everything just here for me. So maybe Eddie Murphy with a little bit, but it's not enough percentage scale for it to structure my phenotype. So this is what a lot of freedmans is going through right now, but they can hit y'all a little faster and then blind y'all with colorism too. So then if you don't get out of it, you won't know why you're so comfortable with being a Hebrew Israelite all the time, or why you're so comfortable with being, and ain't nothing wrong with these things. Like, look, I don't want people to think I'm trying to go against stuff or whatever the case may be. We all trying to find ourselves. That's all. And when we're coming up with solutions and stuff like that, we always know, you know, when it comes to culture that needs church, which we're going to get into also, but a more free-based one. So it's not really considered church, but it's someone with a spiritual mind. For an example, before we even get into that, you know what I'm saying? You can look at it like this. Yeah, church is all holy and everything of that nature. But when it comes to regular areas, urban areas, people, you need somebody like to be like, you retarded, bitch. That ain't got nothing to do with Yehovah. That's the new what we're going through. It's a larger percentage scale of a pocket of people that's more comfortable with that. You still get some spiritual energy, but you get it from somebody from you. You getting somebody who look like you from your background. You see what I'm saying? You're not getting something that look weird, but you know the outcome never solidify what you want, what you got going on. And it could be like an adult and young person, boys and girls club almost, woman and adult man club, where your talents get exercised and you become important. Not your favorite rapper. You become the person that we're waiting on to hear something. Not your favorite movie actor or actress. We're waiting on you, or we're getting ready to upload what we just helped you do with cameras and stuff like that. Whatever you want to do as a little sitcom or 5-minute and lead up to something like that. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that help us as kids and adults, where we feel like we got something that we can participate with, things that might have a lot of back into it, because it ain't who you know. I mean, it ain't what you know how to do. It's who you know. We have to start small. You know, don't over exaggerate. We can't just have everything on our laps. You see what I'm saying? But that's just getting into that situation. This is why, all right, when you think about that in a general scale, you may second question that. But everything I be talking about is stuff we already doing. Y'all just be over exaggerated in the English terms and meanings behind it, and then put it in that idol worship pocket, how it's supposed to look based upon narrative. But in all actuality, we already doing this. This is how even content creators became more lit than TV. And we made everybody get the fuck off TV. Y'all remember me even saying that years ago. Man, it's the new TV. That's what that is. It will be no such thing as Joe Osteen and everybody creating a YouTube page and stuff like that if YouTubers didn't make it lit. Do you understand me? You see what I'm saying? So we already doing it. It's just we're not capitalizing. And we're allowing other individuals to produce a lot of gold. I mean, produce a lot of cobalt for the gold that we know we have. You know what I'm saying? We'll be nobody at the basketball courts and stuff like that if we ain't jumping the shot. We'll be nobody on YouTube right now. We ain't up here spilling our heart, being ourselves, reminding everybody in the world it's better to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just express your true, genuine energies and stuff like that. And whatever you thought you didn't have is you a walking version of that. Start to go through lines of reasonings of how that helped you by not having it and how far it can lead to the damaging energies of not having it. And then you know others probably went down further routes than you. So now you got a position, even online, to get somebody out of a rut and things of that nature, out of a dam. But we have to start here. We got access to everybody right now, and we can build this up on ourselves. And not to use the Dr. Umar as an example, but you can make anything, your house, a small thing, a small little church, and make it a communion. Even if you got exercising qualities, like I've been telling him, he could have put some exercise equipment in there and turned it into that, and use our creative gifts and talents to fund things. Like your talent is like, it's almost like product; it sells itself. You know what I'm saying? So you can have something for one purpose, but if that one purpose don't ground it, you're supposed to be creative enough to utilize other attributes to it. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it can be in all kind of other pockets, way out of your only expectation. You know what I'm saying? And then you could be open to other things. People may rent it out for other circumstances and do other type of things when it comes to just a land or when it comes to anything. I'm not even talking about buildings. I'm talking about anything, right? This is what I'm talking about, church, a church. But using him as an example, that's a school, whatever the case may be. And I just went through all my money. You know what I'm saying? Went through all this money in some way. And I'm just breaking down things that we don't really have to utilize money if you serious about something. Nothing stops you from, like, I create a church every day. I'm going to tell you that. I create a real church every motherfucking day. And anybody in my real life can tell y'all that. I create a church every day. You know what I'm saying? You are a walking church. So you treat it like a product. You treat things in your mind like a product, and whatever that your main goal is, all those become the tools for it. So you're always able to fund yourself in some way, shape, or form and substantiate a circumstance. But when it just comes into the ethnogenesis, right? You could be more on a percentage scale of the Native American. You could be more on a percentage scale if you're mixed. You could be more on a percentage scale of the African American, or you could be more on a percentage scale of the Taino. And it shows. These is the only things you could be mixed with, and this is the only example you got to be like, I don't look like Akon. You know what I'm saying? I don't look like, you see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with them, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Because the only reason I'm technically just not including them and the Kodak Blacks and stuff like that, because they're technically foreigners. And I'm not saying that negatively. I'm just saying, when you hear freedmans try to find examples for things, I'm just making things make simple for everybody. You see what I'm saying? So it don't get blurry. Then when people start, crying for, well, I don't want to say crying, but, asking for liberation and respiration and things of that nature, it ain't foggy land. You know what I'm saying? So when it get into things like my plans and stuff that even go back to this a better version of what we did in the 17 to 1800s, well, late 1700s and 18, once the ethnogenesis start to happen, mid 1800s and things of that nature. Here's how to make things be put in a box for respiration if it was to happen, and also a starting point, or at least the idea on who made the money can go in the hands of, and it be filtered out through the right way. And this is when it comes to our job, us being intelligent, showing ourselves first, but still being part of the people, so we don't look weird to people like we sold or we bought or something like that. I ain't even monetized or whatever. So, I mean, it's impossible for me. But like I said, everything off my own volition. But just that type of quality, right? So when it comes into um, ethnogenesis towns, it'll play out like how it used to be, how the Native Americans had it, and then the freedmans that was getting raised up and stuff like that, and then be in control of those territories or whatever the case may be. and then built the church sanctum and shit, and had a little culture. This kind of how Mardi Gras got developed and shit like that. And the whole Mississippi, even Black Wall Street. Y'all don't know when it comes to anything on this land. Native Americans is more involved in it than anybody else. Even the stuff the black people did, like Black Wall Street. That's just after a while that they updated painting, and other people who made money, especially African Americans, start to fund certain things that got to do with it. But anything that deals with American land and something started, it was Europeans dealing directly with Native Americans first, and then freedmans and stuff like that. So we gotta get that understood too. Because anytime there's a land circumstance going on, you're gonna have some Native Americans bitching. The period. You know what I'm saying? So, but we don't look at it like that negative stuff. We in this together, type shit. But we got some type of what they call that God complex to the land. So you follow us too much, and what we do, you get blown up with us. You get killed with us. Because a lot of people like to start talking like we gave something up or nothing. No, you had to kill us. Ain't nobody go through all that. Nobody else went through all that. Nobody give nothing. You had to kill motherfuckers and shit like that. You ain't went through, had some type of mentality to make a motherfucker have to kill your ass and just hit your ass upside the head with the sword, and you just listen. That's a different concept. That's a different story. That ain't got nothing to do with someone having some type of God complex to the land. But for the most part, when you get into the ethnogenesis, right? Ethnos-Genesis towns. So that'd be a clear separation on people who have been here and culture, who have been crippled and don't have no culture at the moment and can start to build on one with Native Americans. And then the energy of all the complaining people having, not knowing how to separate from what they call it, tethers and individuals that not from here, but for the most part, it could be blurry. So when things need to be funded, no one culture actually gets supported. No one actually start to uplift themselves and start to have corner stores. You know what I'm saying? And start can have car lots and stuff like that. That don't get shut down 5 years later because it don't get funded like the regular ones that recommend everybody to their buddy tow truck companies too and stuff like that. Then it's like it's no way in for other people's culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the game be sold up. Like it'd be no way in. And then you do stuff like that, you might can't get as far. Like you'll get a car lot, you'll get a regular tow truck or whatever the case may be. Start towing people cars to that car lot, and it gets shut down because of something like that. Like you're like, oh wait a minute, like it'll be a new law that you ain't allowed to recommend somebody to another thing. Like damn, I thought this. You know what I'm saying? Like real stuff. Like so we need like a little foundation where, but you have to be useful. You know what I'm saying? So we all useful. And that goes for the spiritual practices all the way to the physical practices. And each person, if you're a man, should be able to have your hands in all of them. You know what I'm saying? You know how to preach, teach. You should be able to know how to use your hands too. Like I know how to build. You know what I'm saying? I know how to put something together and things of that nature and stuff. As such, the body. You know what I'm saying? And the mind. And all these things is in sync or whatever the case may be. So these are the energies and the qualities people need to be into. And therefore, start slowly but surely separating from all the degenerates and all the reprobates. And then that even makes things better for even like voting qualities and stuff like that, because we clearly know where votes is coming from, or we clearly know what's needing help and who gonna use it the right way and who just degenerate, so they don't care about circumstances anyway, so they're in those other pockets that ain't got nothing to do with ethnogenesis territory. So if people serious, I think we should all be working towards ethnogenesis territory, where the higher percentage scales of each party, Native Americans, Freedmans, and Tainos, figure out how to come together and start to substantiate some type of constitution. You know what I'm saying? And then start off with a church, a council, and a school. So, but we don't necessarily have to do everything like the Jew. And I have the natural template of how to do it the natural way, like where it don't take nothing. It don't take no money. It don't take anything. And then as we're being an example, and let's say we're bringing a lot of people to the city too, that's other people, that's showing results of citizenship and like-minded individuals, then if Europeans look at it as respectable, they may come up with an idea of how something could suit them better. And then also that can start to become a well-oiled running machine, business interaction, or however the case may be, or human rights condition, because we'd be trustworthy people, conducting a large group of mass of individuals and things of that nature. And then the things we're complaining about, we actually could be the ones that's actually doing it if we serious. See what I'm saying? So all the way down to the church. Think about how many people left the church. I'm just finding pockets for everything. This ain't nothing. I can do everything, but like the church of the city or the state, and then many other people I can teach to have that same thing. We have our version of a church, so adults and kids come there and have a place that their creativity can be put in its right perspective, but from a spiritual nature also. And whatever that you're going through, you know what I'm saying? I'm the Tanju Sue. You know what I'm saying? So if you step in my little priest little thing of that nature, you gonna get cussed the fuck out. What you did, I did this. You fucking flunked out. You fucking retarded. You stupid fucking retarded bitch. You know what I'm saying? And you will be saved. I guarantee every rapper will be there. I guarantee P. Diddy will be there. They went to Mace Church. I know a way to get in somewhere and get in and loop something. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. And we'll do a record after the fact. All the little Chiracians and stuff like that, come to my church and things. You can't dress better than me. You can't rap better than me. You gonna shut the fuck up and you gonna understand what the fuck is going on when you go back to your little pocket. Whole hood saved. Whole hood saved. You ain't hooder than me. Nothing. Know what I'm saying? So look, before ceremony, we're gonna go in the back, smoke this ale, or whatever the case may be. There's kids in there, so we're gonna go to the back somewhere, butter a hut teepee, and then go in the front and shit like that. And y'all need church and stop drilling. You're gonna hear about some spiritual drilling and shit like that, and how God drilled at the happy hunting grounds and shit. And that's it. I don't see nothing else. How's something wrong with that? What, you wanna fight? I'm saying, you ain't with your game. Me and you lock the door, 30 seconds. I can fight real good. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You can't come like that, Joe Osteen. I'm sorry, you can't come like that. You know what I'm saying? You got the agility. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You can't come like that. Or Creflo Dollar. Or goddamn it, y'all can't come like that. I'm sorry, you can't. That's something you gonna learn. You gonna get down, or if I stump my feet one time, the earth and goddamn a shake, and you won't have no roof on top of your damn house in this motherfucker shit. You gonna be in the church and stop drilling, bitch. And that's it. You can't make no diss song, can't rap better than me. That's it. All you can do is get on a record with me. We bring it all worlds together and all tribes together. That's it. And you see how that's healed? All that's healed. These cats inspired to make a new SoundCloud because they can expect owning they own something after a while with their own music and shit, and then that's it and shit like that. For the most part, all these punk ass jobs that adults be working for the rest of their life before retirement, they give back to kids. Get them jobs back to kids. All the way to these certain construction jobs. Tall buildings, that's one thing. Regular shit in houses and shit like that, man, some old 17, 18-year-old goddamn Mexican that's supposed to be their job. Old 16-year-old goddamn Native American and stuff like that. That's supposed to be their jobs. All that shit's supposed to be their jobs. McDonald's, all that shit ain't supposed to be no old ass people in there and shit like that. Get ready to go back to the rescue mission home. That ain't that. Why is society like that, man? Where's the think pockets where we sitting down and be like, we can make a job for this collection of bums. We can make a situation for this retard degenerate section. Where is that at? That's what we for. What we don't see, what we start complaining about, that's what we be. That's what we be about. You see what I'm saying? Soon as we start to sound like we bitching, that sounds like something we can take and make it creative. And do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it. And it's motherfucking shit. Now, like I said, start small too. You ain't funded like everybody else. So, it's just start in your regular area. Well, however the case may be. I got a whole access to a whole goddamn livable motherfucking what they call those motherfucking schools, detainment schools or whatever the case may be, that they threw everybody in, boarding school. little boarding school shit or whatever, beds, everything. It looked like a frat home or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So I got access to that in this motherfucker. But for the most part, just for a little church, I got the chalkboard, all that shit too. But just for the most part, everything else, and all over the place. You get to start small, as long as you're bringing a communion, and that builds citizenship. And once you got citizenship, right, that's all you actually need. So you need a place for your people now, and then y'all can actually practice that as communion and being in the same location. Pardon me. It don't necessarily work being spread out. These had to be things that you have to work towards, or no one actually serious. Everyone trying to put themselves into a selfish box. So if you try to put yourself into a selfish box, then a lot of times it's gonna play out as, yeah, it sound like you're speaking for everybody, but at some point, it's if it was just to be filtered through you, you'll be the only person doing something with it. It'll just be like everybody, even these politicians, paid for to rock us to sleep, like Beyonce and everybody else and stuff like that. And Beyonce ain't got no culture, or she don't live in no area of her people, so ain't no money gonna trickle down from that big old check Kamala Harris gave her. You get it? But let's say if you willing to fight, and you might not be as talented as Beyonce, but you're a better orator or whatever the case may be. Open up your motherfucking mouth so no shit like that happen again. And if it was an idea for it to happen again, it should be you. Ooh, that's where you gotta put the work in. You know what I'm saying? That's where you gotta open up your start small. You don't need everything in the damn world. The damn pilgrims ain't had everything. They ain't had shit. They barely had teeth in their goddamn mouth, and it was rotten and shit like that. And they barely had underwear and garments and shit like that. And they motherfucker did they thing. They did they thing. You know what I'm saying? They did they thing. So we don't already gotta be at go. We don't got to be already forced in a whole area already, and then now what? No, let's start now, start small, and then we connect that in some way, shape, or form. So everybody got their position, even powerful people online. Y'all, if you're a real person, you got your position. Keep working on that. If we're on the same train of thought, line of reasoning, that's us being spiritually in the same space in the spiritual world. It's inevitable we're going to connect physically. Even if we're not currently reaching out to each other, it's going to be a situation where it ain't no choice, or one or the other, or all of us end up doing it anyway. But us putting in the energy work and the mind state and being on that same esoteric sacrum ground is all it takes at the moment, which is already like that right now. How we even divided and separated from the real individuals and the robots. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only so much the AI robots could do. They can't really have no lectures. They can't meet up with nobody in real life. They can't really, they can just set up a whole bunch of stuff that just really seem like it's online or whatever the case may be. But then after a while, it just starts seeming like, oh, this is some copying shit. This is some copying real people stuff or whatever the case may be. And that turns everybody off, even the audience that the robot AIs and stuff like that be attracting, even though 90% of it be talking to themselves. It's just a whole bunch of them. But at the same time, these be those type of situations that throw everybody off. Because it's like just a person just talking after a while, and we don't even do that in our real life. You know what I'm saying? When you in school, once you talk after a while, that's the same person you talking to walking home from school or on the bus with school. Online, we just doing this online, but eventually people you connect with, like-minded, that's the people you get ready to do stuff with and stuff like that. So it's business, relationship, friendship. There ain't nothing else to life. So when we over exaggerate what we doing, there's extreme monetary gains behind it that don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So we think some have to be A1 before participating. So we think we need already to school before we start schooling, already to church before we start churching, not already to counsel before we start counseling. And nah, we could be that I'm Nazi right now. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, just be the overcovering of the under counsel. That's the Nazi and Amnesia, or the ye Amnesia. I'm Nazi and the ye Amnesia. See what I'm saying? Ooh, shit. So that puts you in a covenant. And then you create a covenant council. And then once we create a covenant band, then for the most part, it's a trickle-down system like a hierarchy. Everybody at the top of their own hierarchy, and then the hierarchies come together. And then for the most part, those be the sanctums over the Ethno-Genesis territory, ethnogenesis towns. And then that'll start small and lead into certain pockets of the areas of certain people that do certain things themselves and watch the holy church people. Whether you talk about business, entertainment, education, religion, or politics, you are a preacher. Not a preacher though, just this new age version of orator. Whatever you're good, you're doing what you're good at. Even if you're talking about politics or however the case may be, but you're us. You know what I'm saying? Um, these going to be the individuals that everything get conducted through the hierarchy or however the case may be, and all that trickle down through our own people, and then all of us together is in the ethnogenesis territory or however the case may be. And I guarantee those neighborhoods be safer. I guarantee everybody had a mind right and everybody be productive on both ends, and children and old people, right? And it get place everybody in a situation of being able to be more fruitful, so we can start making America look like something, and we will be the representation of America anyway. Because whatever we're going through right now ain't a representation of it. See what I'm saying? So we got to kind of take America like a baby ourselves and start raising it up and stuff like that. So we will be the only thing that would America mean, because we're also getting psyoped and stuff. So we all also already it. You know what I'm saying? America is corn flakes. You know what I'm saying? We got to add pilgrims, hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Then we got to add other cultures and stuff like that. Jeans, cotton. Add other cultures and stuff like that. And all the way down to lowriders and Mexicans and stuff like that. But everybody who had ethnogenesis, right? You're the ones that's crippled at the moment. And you trying to figure out how to get things or get yourself solidified, but you're all scattered and spread it out, is the first thing that's hurting things. So you can't just wake up on a whole road full of people on the same goal with the same interests as you, and then y'all just be like, man, let's just build this little thing right here. It could be anything, and just start looking at it and just start doing it and shit like that. Like, these things won't be things y'all have to think too hard about or over exaggerate about. It'd be nothing to just go outside. Like 10 strong men can make one neighborhood look like something in a month. In 1 month. Think about 100. I got 700 plus people right now, not even including a lot of people and most people on the internet and things of that nature. That filters through the ethnogenesis thing, not just people like my family, like Catawbas and Cherokees and all this other type of shit. And Wakmas, Wakamas, and all the Lenape tribes and shit like that. Mainly like my mother, mainly Lenape tribes and shit like that. But then, and her mother, but then her father and his family, Catawbas and all those tribes. But then Ohio is my mom. All them tribes, so all them mixed in with Lenape. But I'm not even sure which little mixture that I could be able to claim, due to the fact of I'm more Catawba. You know what I'm saying? So I don't sit here and try to be like, well, I'm this Native American tribe, this Native American tribe, this Native American tribe, and then this freedman. Like, I don't do all that and stuff like that. I just be like, oh, okay, boom. Who raised me? My mom's father, mother, and him, he died, and then my mother, that native, them tribes raised me, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So I can only go by that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's ethnogenesis. You know what I'm saying? So African Americans, y'all going through it even worse. No culture, language, culture or language. Being blended in where a lot of your shit is already Native American, also, but still a lot of y'all more on the percentage scale of African American. So then it gets blended in with a lot of the Jesuit stuff that they played on all of us, like voodoo, other shit from other pockets that they really did on Haitians and other stuff to do an ethnogenesis low key on them, that they still, it was so late down the line. You got a lot of Haitians, but then you have a lot of Creoles now. You see what I'm saying? And so they'd be the first ones with this new Jesuit psyop called voodoo, from it being hoodoo as something that was stolen first, that Native Americans called something else just what they was doing. It wasn't specifically saying, hey, this is what we do and that's hoodoo. It was just anything that we was doing. And one pocket of it is with Jesuits, like, hey, we creating this pig-head language and we gonna call this hoodoo, and then later on down the line, giving it to other ethnicities, how Brother Kind of Man do. Give it the V, the Q, the R, the C, or the J letter, and now it's voodoo, Jehovah. So when you think about certain like voodoo spirits, right? Here's how you know you colonized way too much if you are African American, right? And you're in the voodoo spirit. Hold on. The voodoo god. Now, here's the thing. You might be like, you so blinded, and you might be like, yeah, that's our shit. Yeah. If you the freedman and you lost in Pan-Africanism and stuff like that. But you might be so lost in delusion, like you keep looking past the fact that this is a whole pilgrim outfit. Like this is a, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole pilgrim, like a whole Jew outfit and things like that. It's like them playing your God again and shit. Like they playing it, they be doing it deep. They got, man, they did it over there in India. They did it deep. You know you ain't come up with that. You ain't come up with that bucket hat. You ain't come up with the bow tie, dude. Y'all know that. You know that. I mean, you can claim everything like y'all want to and stuff like that, but that's for you to wake up on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't come up with that outfit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You ain't come up with that outfit. So you could think that was there since the beginning of the time and you was first and all that stuff like. But if you can't look past that first witchcraft over you, you've been ethno-genocide. You just got an ego, too much like the pilgrim. So your ego, you want to be everything first. You want to be the indigenous. When the very terms you're clinging on to, all the way to the other things, mean mixture. African American, someone with blood from Africa that was born over here in America after the fact of colonization happening. The term black, that means you're a mixture of something itself. You type in what does African American mean on Google, it goes to all the tribes in Africa. Arab, Berber, Somalian, you know what I'm saying? So it's let you know Siberian, Liberia. So you have to figure out, damn, what pockets and what areas came on certain boats, and that'd be the specific, more percentage scale if you're the freedman and you can see it. So they can kind of blind y'all in sometimes. But that's how you'll be able to know if you is the people you blinded in or another tribe from Africa and stuff like that, or the Caribbeans. For an example, let's say if you was born in Florida, you should be able to go to the year the first colonists start bringing people over here at this time. Christopher Columbus had a group of buddies. They all manifested destinies that all the generals was doing at that time. So Christopher Columbus just means all the generals coming from Spain and England and stuff, who's invading that Caribbean area. The Vichapuchi dude, whatever the name is, right? That's the person who's going to come invade the clear port that you can enter America. So that'd be Ohio and then New York and Pennsylvania and stuff like that. Then you have another name that they was more on the Mormon stuff, part of England, that came through the Virginia and the Carolinas and stuff like that. And all you have to do is see where those boats came from with people. So they traveled, but they came with people, and it's telling you their specific explorations. So it's telling you the ethnogenesis the Native Americans had in South America, North America, and Central America. So, and then based on percentage scale. So if you're more Native American on a percentage scale, and then let's say if you're mixed and you're not pure, but the phenotype shows you still more on a percentage scale, then if you're West Coast, the ethnogenesis shows that it's going to be higher percentage scale of you being mixed with Spain and or this after ethnogenesis that made Mexicans and with the Tainos and stuff like that. And Spain, or small pockets of Asians and African Americans, and very small Arab, but then over time it's starting to get there. Just how everybody here. Then if you're on the East Coast, and things, it's showing you that you have ethnogenesis with French, a little bit of Dutch, um, um, little smaller pocket than the West Coast and Central and South America than of Spain, smaller pocket, but then more pocket of African American, Filipinos, which Asians, and Arabs. So this is why on the East Coast you're gonna get more Arab stores and Asian stores, and on the West Coast you're gonna get more East Asian, Arab slash new version, watered down, new made up British-Economan engine Indian. So once you get to Vegas, California, like Nevada, and stuff like that, you're going to get more of those corner stores with Arabs and East Asian Indians. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Like the Kamala Harris's and stuff, or the stuff right next door. Now, you still get it on East Coast and West Coast, but just smaller in percentage scale. So you'll still get these Indian, East Asian, Arab mixture engine pockets over here, but you're going to run into more Asian and Arab. And on the West Coast, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Even in Menace to Society, I feel sorry for your mother, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure a lot of the gas stations y'all run into, you're going to buy some hard-ass cookies and shit like that, and some East Indian oil and stuff like that from the East Indian Asian. And, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you look at that. Somebody said, what happened to my old video? They're on Patreon. Every month that lead up, I just put it on Patreon. Even though it don't work anyway to get my page like monetized. They hate me from the bottom of their heart. So I don't even think about getting monetized, but I still just put it on the Patreon. And I'm gonna start doing the little setup stuff too through the Patreon too, due to the fact of, because even though that's probably roboted out too. But based upon just my mental tactics itself, don't even allow me to fall short to any online thing, especially the AI things and stuff like that be trying to make it an online thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know how to get lost in that type of stuff. A lot of people be lost in that sometimes, and then they run into a lot of mistakes and stuff infiltrating. But I didn't experience that so much over the years, and the things in real life, I don't experience what I experience online in real life. But when I get online, that's the only time I experience racism or some hating or whatever the case may be. So I just look at it like that. Those are like, I just get online just to talk, or if I do watch stuff, just to see what new type of psyop going on or whatever the case may be. But I don't necessarily get on here and try to super do a lot of dumb shit and stuff like that, and trying to make myself some type of role model or make myself some type of thing to expect, like I'm trying to set myself up to be in politics or something like that. That's a no for me. I got my own politics. I'm the best politician in the world. When it comes to business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, I can only have my own territory. That's about it. I don't share nothing with nobody like that. So now, at least not on no mental grounds. Now it could be some type of connection, right, and a foundation there, and we all working together as a team in some way. Just other type of stuff, I don't even think a lot of people mentally have it there. You know what I'm saying? So if it can't really be territory, it's just everything gonna go down the drain anyway. You know, so I just be coming up with solutions and stuff like that to make everybody be on the same side and stuff. But I already know there's a lot of people in their ego that ain't gonna support nothing or want to participate with nothing or whatever the case may be. But I know I put the word out there for everybody to look at themselves and how their own thing going to be constructed, and how whatever they were separating from what I was talking about, to think that nothing would change from whatever that they got going on. I mean, they have to experience it. No, I'm saying they experience it soon enough, but ain't no other route. So when it comes into ethnogenesis city, ethnogenesis states, and stuff like that, or however the case may be, I think that's the best solution for people who lack culture, people who are in weird, funky situations in their life, and people who don't know themselves, and being around strong individuals who could build that culture, and left these things. Because when it comes to controlling people's minds and stuff like that, I think that's one of the main problems we have, that conversion energy. You can only speak to like-minded people. Now, it just so happens that there's a large portion of the world that's in a like-minded pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that's the shift that we're going through at the moment. But truly, these people don't have to be forced. Just like how we get online and we don't have to force anybody to watch us, or however the case may be. But if we see a lot of things being broadcast, we know that's a sense of force. Like Joel Osteen, someone forcing Joel Osteen on us, or Creflo Dollar, or whatever. So they don't have something what it takes. They was founded or funded and placed in a position that no longer works. And whoever these people got to fund them, or however the case may be, that's a whole different thing that we can't never participate with anyway. So we shouldn't even expect that. We should try to get our own way, that we have that own system ourselves. And we should not be thinking about anything else, or y'all just gonna keep complaining about shit, or however the case may be. So as far as what I'm gonna lay to the table, kind of like what I've been doing anyway, right? But I'm gonna update it as far as it still could be like a tour type concept, but just remixed around a church, but a new church for the regular common folk. And then for the most part, it could be like a sanctum place or a starting point for everybody that's like-minded, or whatever the case may be, and can respect the individual with that type of mind state, or whatever the case may be, because that's what y'all doing with Joel Osteen and stuff like that. But y'all ain't got nobody for y'all, or whatever. So these things is necessary for culture, which is the council place, the church, and the education system. And you can't do everything by yourself. So everybody ain't supposed to be the same. But we supposed to be the same in the spiritual world. Same goal and a healthy mind state. Therefore, each healthy mind state has its pocket for everybody to reach that foundation, everybody to reach that foundation of water truth, or that connection. And everybody needs their pocket to come to that communion. There might be a pocket you have if you're an orator or a creative person, or a person in business, however the case may be, that there's a lot of people can filter through you to get to the holy church. People filter through me to get to the holy church. And therefore, the people who's bringing people as fishermen and fisherwomen to the holy church, we have our own positions, and we shouldn't be trying to cross each other's path. And we all got our own creative gifts and things of that nature. For an example, when it comes to business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, we can also have our hands in all these things, but we also know what's more on a percentage scale, especially when it comes to like education, religion, entertainment. You know, my hands would be a lot in that energy. Business, politics, and all attributes in that. Someone else have that in their pocket and things. And then when it comes to for us to sit at a global roundtable to make a decision for all of our people when it comes into these voting elections, if quote unquote funding systems, these new welfare systems we could develop, how we've been seeing people who get on boats come over here and have like DJ Academics and everybody, and where our tax money is actually going, or however the case may be, and knowing that if it was done right, we will actually see results because we got people involved with strong minds. And that can only work when it's your people that you're caring about. You know, if it's a group of people that don't care about your people, that can only go so far. And if you're not striving to be in that type of position, then it's nobody else's fault but ours. And we just be sitting around bitching and complaining still and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So that's the foundation everybody should be setting forth if you're serious about what you're talking about or serious about what you're doing. Because obviously you're a person and you think you care about human rights. And if you got a family or you got a circumstance or you got a situation, right, you want a legacy. But that's the only way it could be built. And that's putting in the actual work. So you can't be scared about putting in the actual work either. You know what I'm saying? You might got to travel every now and then. You might got to set something up where you at every now and then. And exercise your value. Then don't set no limit to it or compare and contrast that someone may have more or whatever. If we're together, we're together. So we link each other in every capacity. And that's what I'm going to start doing too for all the online content creators that's real, such as everybody that's already connected with me, but just individuals that we probably all aware of each other, and there's other individuals that we even have spoke and stuff like that, but we're not connecting the way we're supposed to connect to. So I have to be the adult spirit too and start doing that. So we show that we can do that. You know what I'm saying? As Native Americans, freedmans, Tainos, and whatever European want to help that's in a powerful position. But we're not separating nobody on our level when it comes to all ethnicities. If you're like-minded, y'all already know how I am. Y'all know I ain't got nothing to do with none races or whatever the case may be, or whatever the case. But just when it comes into when I say things like government or whatever the case, that's what I'm pertaining to when I say European or whatever, because they're the ones who got the funding systems and stuff like that. Or the ability to allow someone to do something without always creating a lot of frustration and making things seem like it's not worth it due to all the fire hula hoops that's unnecessary and creative laws and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how everybody can get to a better peaceful position, because you're distracted with uplifting yourself. So you ain't even developing crime. You're not into that. You're more into all the way down to, let's say it's a little area and sidewalks need to be. You ain't trying to look forward to even for it to be a job. You trying to learn how to lay plate some sidewalks or whatever the case may be, and you feel like you're paid by seeing what you just done with a group of other strong men or whatever the case may be. And whatever you thought you was trying to go get paid for or whatever the case may be, you was only getting ready to use that money for that, whatever we just built for women, old people, and children. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. And just start keep updating. And the time we in right now, I don't even need areas already flooded with property and things on it already that no one's doing anything with. Abandoned houses everywhere and stuff like that. Houses that no one moved in and stuff, and whole areas and shit. It just takes people to put something in it. You know what I'm saying? And that builds a culture. And then once a culture is intact, that makes a lively energy, and that make other people even want to participate. Then it can become the thing what America is. But if we think we America, we got to start acting like it. You know? AKA turn it into New Orleans. Turn it into New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So real shit. So yeah, we're all real people. I'm getting into that like a tour type thing after I had my little kabako or debako thing right here in Ohio or whatever the case may be. So all people who regular people and stuff like that, set your schedules if you're free or whatever. And we have that first little ceremony here in Ohio, or however the case may be. I'll go only fit like a few people in the little cabin thing with me or whatever the case may be. But anybody else, y'all showing up or however the case, it'll be through a little hotel. But I have to make sure because I'm doing everything on my own penny and my people or however the case may be. So for the most part, I was like get that together and shit, and then get specific, and then give everybody a deadline. So I don't want to just jump up and be like, oh damn, it's tomorrow, whatever the case may be. Because I did think about that or whatever the case. Because I really is be for Ohio, but I'm trying to do for people everywhere or whatever the case may be, and people who want to connect. However, because this is kind of what I'm setting forth, and this is what I'm substantiating, so eventually I could develop into a team beyond my regular people around me or whatever the case may be. Such how I broke down in the post, whoever got the best idea, it ain't give me anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you in a city and state and you go through a park or something like that. It's a pavilion or whatever. So it's something that you always see or whatever the case may be. And then, I bring the energy or bring the people, whatever the case. And then if this is a good thing that can continue to go or whatever the case, these are things that we could utilize in other areas to fund it. And then that develop assistance manager energy, pardon me, based upon you put me onto that game of the location or however, that I take care of all the other shit. And then for the most part, make that a whole well-oiled running machine on the roll thing until we start getting substantiated spots in a lot of different areas. But I do want to get the first spot in Ohio. I want to get the first church. I'm saying a little church slash. You just learn everything. I don't call nothing no motherfucking school or no goddamn stupid ass shit like that. It's just a damn communion. But I am gonna open my mouth and things of that nature when it comes into doing things right and stuff, and that goes for the government also. Like you're not exempt from shame or whatever. We know how all these Catholic churches came to be and all that. Funded. Don't make no psyops about nothing, or whatever the case may be, negative or positive, no narratives. And if you ain't trying to help, don't act like you paying attention to it either. And don't put yourself in a position like you trying to stop something, because like we the people, and at some point it just becomes distasteful of what humanity is even spending time into to make it seem like that's what's important to do while using our tax dollars. No, you're gonna use our tax dollars for something or whatever the case may be, or it just don't even make no sense. Like, what is we even doing? You know what I'm saying? But I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all stay spiritually protected. But let me go ahead and get this business taken care of. Flight Boss and the rest of these regions done too, for everybody who ain't get there yet. Flight Boss, bitch, you know. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry God duties and motherfucking responsibilities.